Happy Monday, August 7th. This is the live recording of episode 90 of the Client by Client podcast. Welcome in. Hope your weekend was rejuvenating and that you are refreshed. Today, we're talking about overcoming objections in the DM in Messenger. If you are here live, all my friends, family, clients, past clients, those who know me, those that know the show, drop me some emojis in the chat. If this is your first time here, drop me a number 1. For our first time offenders. We're going to get started here in a little less than 30 seconds today on the podcast over in Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We talk about why the circumstances are never perfect to start or grow your business and what my advice to you, if you're worried about the circumstances, hesitating getting started, hesitating implementing that next piece of your online business, what advice I have for you. Go and check it out. You can get that at pod.link/clients. and access it through your favorite podcast player or in Apple Podcasts or Spotify. That said, let's hop in and let's bring this to life. Hey, what's up? Jeremy here from whatupjeremy.com, back with another episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in today. In the last episode of the show, we talk about the most common mistakes being made by coaches stuck below 5 to 10K. This is also for you if you have been in a little bit of a sales slump, if metrics maybe haven't been where you're at and organic marketing has slowed down, maybe it's something in your mind you can't figure out. I share with you the most common mistakes, how to overcome them, what to do instead. Be sure to backtrack one episode so you can hear all of the mistakes, make sure that you're not making them, and that if you are, you have a game plan for how to overcome them. Speaking of overcoming, today we're talking about overcoming objections in the DM, what to do, the mindsets, some of the frameworks, and what you can do to overcome all of the different kinds of objections. There are 12 different kinds of them. We're not going to cover all of them today, although if you stick through to the end, I have a killer resource for you pulled directly from the Get Clients program, so be sure to listen all the way through to the end. If you don't get today's episode right, there's really 2 things that happen. The first thing that happens is that landing clients takes forever at best, because the other alternative is that those prospects that you have objections with, they just don't sign up at all. So at best, it takes them a really long time to sign up with you. And that's frustrating because even if you're solid at following up and you're solid at the game of conversations, you lose leads after tons of work and after tons of back and forth. And so I'm sure you can see why that could be frustrating when you're losing leads in the cracks, when you're doing everything that you can. The second reason that the second thing that happens if you don't get today's episode right is that your prospects go and sign up with another coach. And that's frustrating because you have these prospects in your pipeline. You're beginning to count on them to sign up. You're looking at monthly revenue. You're starting to kind of try to predict where things are at, how things are coming along. And when they don't sign up or they take forever, you begin to lose motivation and you just kind of want to throw in the towel on that given prospect or on following up in general. And this is where you start to think that running ads or doing webinars or launching some big new initiative that's really outside of your scope, that is really not going to make as big of an impact as just knowing what to say and how to say it would actually make. That said, let's hop in and let's talk about this together. I think it's really important for you to understand first that if you aren't getting objections, you aren't getting clients. From the outside of looking at a coaching business, it can really look like the big box coaches have tons of clients signing up and it's very frictionless. But the fact of the matter is, if you aren't getting objections, you aren't getting clients. And so whether you are the authority in your space or you're the newest of new online coaches, this makes it really important that you have a tool set for knowing what to do for how to overcome them without getting frustrated, or worse, and maybe this should have been what happens if you don't get it right, blowing the sale because you say something that's off-putting, you say the wrong thing, or you just say something that doesn't get them moving in the direction of hiring you and signing up for your online coaching services. And so this also comes from a book by Chris Voss called Never Split the Difference. And it's a book about negotiation. And everything that you're doing in every relationship is a negotiation of sorts. And it's important that you understand this in the sales process. And Never Split the Difference can really be seen as a sales book as well, because you're selling someone on a point of view, you're selling someone on a perspective, you're selling them on hiring you as their online coach. And one of the things that Chris Voss says, I highly recommend grabbing the book or the audio book in Audible, is that the negotiation doesn't begin until you've gotten a no. And think about that mental shift, right? That if you have someone that is absolutely frictionless, that should almost be a red flag in the sales process, because maybe they're hiding a piece of evidence they don't reveal until you tell them the price, and then they're gone with the wind, or when you say for them to book a call with you. And so if you aren't getting objections, you're probably just letting people have their way. And what I mean by that is that you don't have a process in place that's probably working really well for you getting your prospects on the phone. People are going to have objections. We're going to talk about the most common objection here in a little bit that you're going to be up against the most. And if you just give in to any one of the objections and you say the wrong thing, or you give an answer too soon, it's going to increase the likelihood that you're going to lose that sale and lose that opportunity. Thing number one, if you aren't getting objections, you just aren't getting clients. Second, objections mean that your prospects are actually considering hiring you. So I want you to shift from looking at objections as being a pain in the rear to actually being a big green flag, because they're going through their own limiting beliefs. They're thinking through their money situation. They're thinking through, can you actually help them? And when they're having that conversation, they're further along in the sales process than you might be currently thinking. And it can be very easy to get frustrating and to say something out of more of an anger standpoint, or more out of a place of frustration, that then causes that prospect to get pushed further back from you. And not that there isn't a way to save those when you mess up or have a little hiccup in what you say, and maybe you let your ego drive, or you kind of let something that's pestering you in your day take control of the conversation that's going on in Messenger or in your DM. But objections are a very good thing, and that means that they're considering hiring you. And when that is the conversation and the narrative and your underlying understanding of where the objection is coming from, this should give you hope, and this should also give you almost a sense of calm and peace that you're doing things right. And every objection is really an opportunity to create a mental perspective and mindset shift in your prospect. And when that happens, and when you're the coach that didn't just give in and didn't just give up, that prospect is now going to feel more inclined that they found their online coach. And they're going to be thankful and grateful that you listened, that you understood where they were coming from, and that you clarified, and that you gave them an answer that didn't allow for them to use an out and to use an excuse that they've probably used on other coaches that are trying to get them to sign up, that they're probably using in other relationships in their life, and they're probably, maybe unknowingly, using on themselves, that's sabotaging their results, and therefore they need your help even more. And so when you're that person for them, they're going to get a sense that they found their coach. They're going to get a sense that they're already in the right place. And that, my friends, is the only conversation you want going on in their mind and in their heart, because they're so much closer to actually signing up than you're probably thinking. Thing number three, last thing to understand here about overcoming objections. There are 12 main objections that you're going to be facing in the DM, in Messenger, in your email replies if you have an email list. And so the biggest objection that you either are going to get, or that you're most fearful of, or maybe the one that you're getting the most, or that you are needing to overcome better than other coaches in your space, is always going to be about price. And so I thought it would be helpful to touch on that here in today's episode specifically, so that you can understand what to do and maybe what not to do, and really the place to come from in your mind, so that you can handle these the right way. The first thing you need to understand about the objection of price. And so what this means is that you have a prospect that's, it could be their opening message, or it can be after some back and forth where you're asking them about their problems. Maybe you've asked if they're open to some help. This is where you're going to start experience someone coming at you about price. They're going to want to know, well, what does it cost? They're going to say, what are your fees? They are going to say, I don't think that I can afford it. And what's most important for you to understand, two things here, is that number one, never share the price over text, over DM, or in Messenger. And the reason why is because, number one, it's really hard to understand the severity of their situation and to really diagnose their true, actual number one problem and pain point that you would be helping them with, without first having a strategy call. And if you don't understand their problem, and maybe they don't even understand their problem, because you'll experience this a lot if you aren't already, is that prospects thinks they have, like for me, they have a lot of people come to me and they think they need more leads, but really they just have a crappy offer, or they have, moreover, they have something going on in their mind that's preventing them. They have the wrong thoughts that are self-sabotaging their results and their ability to sell their coaching services and packages. And so they might not be clear as much and as willingly they're communicating, and as much as they think they know their number one problem, they probably don't. And you cannot understand their number one problem until you're on a strategy call with them. And so you need to come from a place of, it's really hard to understand what your actual problem is without hopping on a sales call. And the other part of this is that they're not going to be able to understand the value of your coaching program or understand why you charge what it is that you charge until you're able to understand where they're at right now, where it is that they would like to be, and what is actually holding them back. And they may have an idea of where they're at now, where they want to be, and what's holding them back right now. But inevitably, when you get them on a call and you listen to episode 69 of this podcast and you understand the 9 parts of a well-flowing, high-converting sales call and sales script process, is that you're going to ask them deeper questions that get them more clear than they've ever been. And you just can't do that when you've only had a few minutes and a few messages back and forth with them in Instagram DM, in Messenger, in LinkedIn Mail, or whatever it is wherever it is that you're communicating with your prospects. And so they're not going to be able to understand the value of why you charge what it is that you charge, nor are they going to be able to understand all of the benefits. They're going to be judging you on the price if you're just willing to say, here's the price. And they might say something like, I can't afford it. Well, did you explain your payment packages yet? Probably not. And now you're in a mode of having to try to salvage this lead and salvage this conversation. And they've already ruled out the possibility. Maybe you have a piece of your offer where they don't pay for the first 30 days, or you have a trial, or you have some sort of engineering that you've done in the math and in the help that you get them to where maybe the cost is $10,000, but your first payment isn't due until you get to this landmark. Or we're going to, like in my program, we sell money at a discount. So we're going to be working with you avidly so that you get the return of your investment. And then we're going to be working feverishly to get you a return on top of your investment, so that initial investment that you're making and any and all investment that you make with us is not an issue financially, nor are your personal finances, because they're increasing and you're able to implement new strategies that bring you more money into a more fruitful place. And when you just give them the price, you don't have an opportunity to understand what their real problem is. They're going to potentially put up a wall, and they can either overestimate and be overly thinking about what the price is, or they might be saying, wow, it's only that much, it can't be that good. Meanwhile, they don't understand the benefits nor why you charge what you charge. So number one, never share the price in the DM. I feel like we've nailed that one home here together. Second, you have to be okay with dismissing leads. And this is all about coming from a place of abundance. And again, you can't diagnose without a strategy call. So if you get someone that is adamant about knowing the price, this might just be someone that you don't want to work with. Or you say something like, it's really difficult to tell without first hopping on a strategy session. Some of our community members, we have things ranging, where you're coming from is like, we have things ranging from free up to $50,000, really hard to tell without first hopping on a strategy session. And where you're coming from is like, maybe they just need a resource that's in your Facebook group, or maybe they just need a resource that you already have and have made available for free. Maybe they just need the basic level of your program. Maybe they actually need one-on-one help with you and to travel to your town and to get personal attention, mano a mano, belly to belly, knee to knee from you. It's just really hard to tell without first hopping on a strategy session. You need to be okay first with dismissing leads and letting them go and coming from a place of abundance, and then also knowing what to say and how to say it so that that comes across the right way. And so that when they get these messages from you and these responses, as you're overcoming these objections, they come from a place of, that's fair. Like, this person actually has a point. Like, let's see what they have. Let's actually hop on this strategy call. Now, a second ago, and at the beginning of the show, I mentioned there are 12 primary objections that you're going to be facing when it comes to the game of conversations on social media, in email and in your Facebook group. And we've only talked about the high level mindset and the why here so far, along with the first and biggest objection that you're either scared of or you're getting most, and that you most need to understand how to handle, which is price. So if you want to get the other 11 objections, as well as how to bust and overcome those objections, I've put together an entire document that breaks it all down, that gives you the scripts, that gives you the mindset, that gives you the examples of the conversations of what to do and what not to do, so that you can overcome objections like an absolute gangster and have elite and extreme level confidence when it comes to handling conversations, so that you don't get into a place of fear, of intimidation, or being a little scared and trying to figure out the exact thing to say and how to say it and perfecting it, and then maybe not following up or replying as quick as you can. So if you want access to all 12 of these objection busters, as we call them here in the leverage coach world, all you have to do is find me on Instagram and send me the word objections, and I'll gladly get you a copy so that you can either implement them yourself or hand them to your sales associates or to your sales team, so they're far better equipped for what to do, what to say, and how to say it whenever objections arise. In the next episode of Client by Client, I want to talk about why you truly are worthy of greatness, and maybe eradicate some limiting beliefs that you might be experiencing when it comes to you being worthy of serving clients, attracting more clients in, growing your business past 10, 20, and even 50K a month. So be sure to come back tomorrow to understand why you are worthy and to have this new mindset and emotion set installed in your life and in your business, so that you can attract more clients and come from a place of abundance. Whenever you are ready, here are 3 ways I can help you grow your online business. First, download your free copy of GetBookedCRM. Coaches are used to managing your leads and pipeline from Instagram DM, Facebook Messenger, in your email inbox, where you're losing leads in the cracks and you're leaving a lot of money and clients on the table every single month. That's why I created GetBookedCRM. What started out as a free way for me to manage my pipeline has quickly become a favorite tool of my private clients and many members in the Leverage Coach community. Get leads and turn them into clients in half the time. And right now, it's 100% free. All you have to do is find me on Instagram or wherever you're getting this episode and send me the letters CRM. Second, join my free group for online coaches. I've got coaches from all over the world in dozens of varying coaching niches, all working through the same problems that you're approaching, the same problems and puzzles that you're managing through right now, or just a baby step or two behind where you're at. And it's my belief that all ships rise in a high tide. Get access to them, access to me, and access to weekly trainings and resources designed to help you grow and scale past 15K a month with ease. All you have to do is find me on Instagram and send me the word group. Lastly, become my next success story. I'm getting a couple coaches together this month to implement my methods and frameworks for injecting a minimum of 15K worth of new clients into your online business, or doubling your online client roster base over the next 30, 60, 90 days. But finding and working with the right people is super important to me. So this is only for you if you are a relationship-focused coach who always puts a person ahead of the money. You've been coaching for at least 1 year. You'd like to get 3 to 5 clients organically from social media every month without wasting money and time on paid ads. You have at least 300 friends on a social media platform, email list, or group. You are willing to take bold action because you know that your success depends upon it. And last, but most importantly, you can keep a secret. If that's you, I want you to grab your phone right now, tap that Instagram app icon, find me at What Up Jeremy, and send me the words case study. When you do that, I'll ask you a couple questions about your online business and your vision for the next 12 months. And then I'll share with you what we have coming up this month in the Get Clients program, how we're already helping students from all over the world and many different coaching niches. And we'll also identify what part of the program will likely make the biggest impact in your online business the soonest. That way you know what to expect. All you have to do is find me on Instagram and send me the words case study. That's it for this episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in. Cheers. Team, I hope that was helpful. If the objection busters sound helpful, you can just drop the word objections below wherever you're watching this, and I'd be happy to send that to you as well. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow with another. Peace out.